Hi everybody, I'm Michael. This is a 5-minute review for Nancy Drew number 20, Ransom of the Seven Ships, which is the worst game in the Nancy Drew series. People say it's either this one or the Shattered Medallion. Now, both of those games are so lacking in terms of characters and storyline that it really just comes down to the puzzles. That's what I thought about. And the puzzles in this game are just terrible. There's a lot of good puzzles, which I really enjoyed. I can handle games which are mostly puzzles, like Curse of Blackmoor Manor. That's got a lot of puzzle solving, and that's fine. But this game has a lot of bad puzzles, ones that just make you want to throw your computer out the window. So let me just kind of go through the list of puzzles. The water puzzle to fix the golf cart, I think that's fine. A lot of people really don't like it. The digging around puzzle, that's kind of way too long. I feel like if it had been half as long, it would have been a lot better. The cryptogram puzzle is not so good because it's just a really long cryptogram puzzle. You have to do it 3 times. Then later on in the game, you get a second cryptogram puzzle, which you have to do 5 times, and it's not good. And I feel like they should have put in a line of dialogue where Nancy indicates you've got the puzzle correct. Because I've definitely gotten stuck in the game, not knowing if I'm done or not. So, other puzzles. The monkey puzzles are all terrible, and you have to do the monkey puzzles over and over and over again. The throwing things puzzle is really difficult. The puzzle in the middle, the monkey in the middle is just terrible because it's all random. So you can just get stuck doing that puzzle over and over and over again. There's nothing you can do. There's no strategy. It's just click the button and hope to get lucky. It's just not fun at all. And the colors puzzle is also a really bad one, too. So all those monkey puzzles are torturous, and you have to do 4 monkey puzzles, I believe. That's like the bare minimum. Yeah. So they're not good. Underwater Sudoku is also kind of just a huge hassle because you have this time limit, and it's not a good time limit. The time limit just goes too quickly. The swimming octopus puzzles, I feel like that's fine. Again, you're running under a time limit because Nancy can't be underwater forever, and that's just a pain. Last time I played the game, making the whatever you call it, the squares underwater for the octopus, that was just torturous and terrible for me. And the game kept resetting the puzzle over and over again, and it's hard to look at the notes. Yeah. And then there's the hourglass puzzle, which is terrible, and that is just terrible. And then there's the underwater swimming puzzle, which is not so good. Climbing up the mountain to find the bats should be fine, but it's really bad because the monkeys keep throwing stuff at you. When you're inside the cave, you've got the light bouncing puzzle, which is fine. They do that in a bunch of other Nancy Drew games. The jigsaw puzzle after that is not good, but I do like how it turns into a slider puzzle at the end. That's clever. The puzzle to find the Atosha, they're spinning the dates, that's fine. The puzzle immediately after that, where you have to change shapes around in order to form a picture of an owl, I believe. Not good. It's not good. Navigation in this game is flat out terrible. So both going around the island as a boat, sailing, that's bad, and then going around the island on your car, it's just terrible. The navigation of driving was so much better in Secret of the Old Clock. Why didn't they just reuse that? My gosh. It's just so slow, and it takes forever to get anywhere, and it's not fun. And I've got to get to so basically the puzzles aren't so good, and that's basically all there is to support this game. The music's good too. I like that. The characters and mystery aren't so good. So George is your character. George is useless and doesn't really do anything throughout the game. I'm sorry, this game did not handle George well. Cuckoo the Parrot is fun. I like Cuckoo the Parrot. And Bess, we only see a little bit of Bess, but she's fun. We get to see her at the end. Oh man, that key puzzle at the very end, also a really terrible puzzle. And the instructions are at the back of the book, so you have to keep flipping to the end of the book to get it to work. It's like, ugh. Astrolabe puzzle's too much of a hassle for me to solve. And then Johnny Roll is our only suspect, and he's the culprit. And people really hate that because it's obvious he's the culprit. He's the only suspect. And, gosh, it's It's racist too because Johnny Roll is somebody who's pretending to be Australian, who's pretending to be Jamaican, if you can wrap your head around that explanation. And the game has actually been discontinued due to those racist elements. It's like we've got somebody pretending to be an ethnicity that he is clearly not, and that's offensive. And personal review policy that I take 5 points off of the score if we've got bad sexist or racist elements. I had to implement that because I read too many 1940s mysteries, and that comes into play with this game, so I have to drop 5 points from the score, leaving this game as a 0 out of 10. I did want to talk about the Culprit. I thought the Culprit reveal was memorable. It's kind of cool, but there are mistakes, such as the fact that it's a returning Culprit. It's a Culprit from a previous game, and that was cool, but the Culprit has a totally different voice. The Culprit doesn't really look like they looked in the previous game, and the Culprit doesn't have the same motivation as they did in the previous game. So in this game, the motivation is, I just want treasure, which doesn't really match with what the Culprit's plan was in the previous game. I did like seeing the Culprit come back, though. That was cool. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching my 5-minute review of Nancy Drew, Ransom of the 7 Ships.